Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, meine Damen und Herren, señores y señoras, we are here. It is the Competo Cup, it is the finals, it is Elfi against Jimpo. Both guys are tied up 1-1 in this best of 5. The winner will be able to take home 50 euros and a power supply for a computer by 550 watt power supply, so enough power for a lot of stuff. Maybe even you can plug in your USB vacuum cleaner. Should be no problem. Anyway, let's focus a little bit more on this game. So we have Elfi spawning here as the red Protoss at the 12 o'clock. We have Jimpo spawning at the blue Terran at the 3 o'clock. And like we saw in the first game on Metalopolis, we had close positions by air, long rush distance by ground, and Jimpo even building a single Reaper. And a Reaper is a good unit to build because a Reaper deals with this assimilator so fast. I mean, a Reaper doing 30 damage every 1.8 seconds, this is so much. And Reaper, of course, this is my opinion, the best unit in the game for the cost and the supply, of course, to take down buildings. Having 30 Reapers, boom, one-shot Nexus. I'm not sure about if it's actually a one-shot, but a lot of Reapers kill lots of building very fast. And there we see Proxy Twilight Council by Elfi does not have enough gas yet for a DT shrine, and is Jimpo is now scouting. He was scouting for any proxy pylons, but when we take a vision on Jimpo, he just spotted what's going on here, and what's going on in this area. He has absolutely no idea about this dark shrine, which is currently being warped in. There is the stalker is patrolling. Of course, Elfi knew about this Reaper because he saw it when the Reaper was attacking the assimilator. Reaper now here on the high ground, and of course Elfi needs to watch out for the sentry. Reaper can take out a sentry before the sentry can take out the Reaper. The sentry is a light unit, and the Reaper does more than double the damage against light unit than he normally does. And what is Jimpo going for the Zedic opening, one reactor and one tech lab on each barracks, then go for the expansion, building a bunker right away. He wants to be secure against, wants to be safe against any possible attacks. And what is Elfi doing? He is not going for the 4-gate DT. Oh, he's got the 3 gates finished. And the 4th gate, okay, he's going 4-gate DT. And when you're going for so many DTs, you still have so much minerals left, so you can get out 4 DTs and get a Nexus out as well, and this is actually what he's doing. And there we saw some DTs somewhere on the field. Here they are. And what about a engineering bay? No Raven, no nothing. And if those DTs will be properly split, now Jimpo is aware of the DTs. How much energy does he have? He's currently having enough energy for one scan on this orbital command. This orbital command just finished as well, so you will be able to scan at least twice. And why he is not scanning there, he's scanning, taking out the first DT, second DT should be moving in. He needs to split those DTs, and Elfi is splitting those DTs. The scan was still going on, and this was what I was talking about in the last game. When you use your DTs, watch out, because this scan actually lasts so long. It's still going on. The scan's still going on. Actually, how long? 12 seconds, and 12 seconds is quite a long time. And what about Elfi having another DT here in the base? So 40 energy on this orbital command, 41 on this one as well. So at least 3 or 4 more kills will Elfi be able to do. And now he's running away. He was not able to kill this SCV building the missile turret in time, so he's now moving down. He could have killed this SCV building the missile turret there. A missile turret will get finished in 10 seconds, so he kill at least 3 more units. He's doing this right now. Jimpo just wants to do a block on the wall here with the hold position. Now the missile turret is finished, but the damage has been done, because yes, Elfi is happily mining here at this natural expansion. He is ahead 9 harvesters at the moment, and yeah, he is moving out with his zealots. But not to attack, I guess, just to protect the front, maybe take a Zalnaga watchtower. And Of course, proxying a Twilight Council in the Dark Shrine is a good thing to do, even though I think personally in a TVT it's not that necessary. And yeah, Twilight Council is, not the Twilight Council, the Reaper is taking some units. He is on 2 kills already, and with hopping down and up again the cliff, he can kill some probes here. It takes the simulator. And what can Elfi do against this? He can build a single warp prism. So not only with a warp prism and not only with the observer, he can see what's going up. He sees what's going up the cliff, but with the warp prism, he actually can see units up the cliff as well. Now Jimpo wants to protect his natural, going for a bunker, going for a missile turret right away. So Orbital Command will very soon land here at the natural. Meanwhile, what about the Warp Prism? There it is. And now the Warp Prism, providing the vision, will take down the Reaper before it can get even out of range. So another DT is here at the front, and the Instructor DT with 14 kills in total. He did the damage he needed to do, even though it's not all those high-class cost units, but taking out a couple of SCVs, taking out a Marine here and there is always a good thing to do. And yeah, and Elfi with his Warp Prism here, he not only can provide vision to high grounds, he can do some nasty Warp Prism drops. I mean, for example, drop some units here, drop some High Templars, and storm the shit out of it, then just move back into the Warp Prism, because the main army composition Jimpo currently is having are some Marauders, but he now decided to go for the double Starport, double Banshee. And what about the Cloak on the Banshee? He just started the research for the Cloak, so he might be able to do some damage with the Cloaked Banshees. And in the first game, especially in the early stages of the mid game, we saw that Elfi, he had observers, but he had only one observer. And when we take a look at the unit counting station right now, we don't even see a single observer in production. And with the last patch, with the patch 1.2, those observers only cost half the minerals and 25% less gas. So it's even more easy for a Protoss player to get shitloads of observers, and he's got Alfie's got the 2 high temps on the high ground. He should have not warped in those already, because yes, the Kadarian amulet still is not finished, so he decides to move back with the Warp Prism. The Warp Prism was not spotted currently by Jimpo, and Jimpo is now checking here for the 9 o'clock natural, for the 9 o'clock main as well. Still, those buildings might get taken out in the future if Jimpo actually decides to expand once, twice, and 3 times already. Warp Prism is pulling back. He decided not to cast any psionic storms here, any high psi storms just yet. Maybe he cast it one single time, because actually at this area there was nothing going on. I was focusing on another entrance, and there we see the march of the units by Elfi just commenced. So shitloads of zealots once again, so the army composition for Elfis does not really change at all. But Jimpo, on the other hand, will now go with all those Banshees here to do some damage. Do we see a Stargate out to provide some Phoenixes? No, we do not. And there are the Banshees, and the Banshees will be able to kill quite a lot of units. And taking out those pilots with the cloak is actually a good thing to go for. And does he have, Elfi, any observers? No observers at all in production. Good job by Jimpo to take out the rover right away, and he will be able to do so much damage. Now emergency cannons, emergency robo bay going up by Elfi, and this cannon placement not the best. He needs to protect his mineral lines, so even though this photon cannon might be at the position there, Banshees can just take out everything anyway. So Elfi is now in some sort of desperation mode. He needs to attack, he needs to do some damage, otherwise he will be dead. Those cloaked Banshees will do so much damage. And once again, Elfi might be suffering from the fact that he does not get enough or any observers at all, but very nice placed high psionic storms here, taking out all the SCVs, rebuilding the bunkers so fast, and all the ground units gets taken out so heavily. And Jimpo decides, yes, he needs to move back with the Banshees, otherwise he will be dead pretty soon. All those Banshees are nearly out of energy, so feedback won't be that effective on those units. High Templar, not the best positioning, but he was at least able to get a Starstorm out before he was killed. So now the orbital command is dead. All the other buildings here on the low ground are dead as well. And some stupid Marauders in addition to the Banshees, of course, have no problem dealing with this stuff. Now Elfi finished with not only one, but with 2 robo facilities. He will be able to produce observers there. For example, we see the first observer, he's going for the command center, orbital command, hidden expansion. He had 9 o'clock as well. And if we take a look at the harvest account for the moment, both are really in a lot of trouble. 29 SCVs and against the 17 probes right now, so it's looking a little bit better currently for Jimpo, especially considering that he has 2 times the mules with the main base and here with a hidden 9 o'clock. On the other hand, Elfi secured the gold expansion. Of course, you don't need that many workers to maintain the same income on the gold than, for example, on the normal base. But still, Banshees moving out. High Templars most likely will get taken out. Go for a Psionic Storm, go for a feedback. No can do. So on the other hand, another drop is occurring right now. Pylon gets taken out. 1, 2, 3 Pylon is getting attacked, and walking in there with 4 Stalkers and an Archon is not what you want to do, and Elfi is in a lot of trouble. I think Jimpo might be able to take this game and just kill the complete production. Meanwhile, the Banshees doing much more damage here in the main base. Those Banshees just attacking and attacking. Now the Zealots by Elfi are arriving. 1 medivac with full units and they gets taken out. The Observer is providing vision to the high ground. Why is he not getting rid of the medivacs? I mean, he needs to watch out anyway, because he just needs to micro his Stalkers to attack the Banshees, and he needs to take out the medivacs. He's not taking, just could have killed the medivacs with absolute ease, and now he's hunting those units here away. Banshees and going maybe to the 9 o'clock to get repaired. Actually, there are enough SCVs. On the other hand, no other expansions coming up, and we take a look at the supply. It's 102 against the 55. So it's looking currently good for Jimpo. But how many units does he have in his main base? He's got 6 Marauders, he's got 2 Banshees and 5 Marines. And now there is the Dark Templar in the mix to the Zealots. So all those ground units will be taken out. But the question, of course, is will he be able to come back? And now it is payback time for Jimpo. Elfi took not those medivacs out. Now those medivacs unloading their forces up once again. Nexus is down, and I think it will not only be the Nexus. Pylon just being whopped in once again there by Elfi. It might be too late for this. And the Zealots now pulling back. He did not even went for an attack and was not paying attention there. So looks like this is a little bit too much to handle for Elfi, and Jimpo's doing a really good job, not only in terms of army composition, but finding the weak spots. What I really liked was as soon as he was in the base here by Elfi with his 5-6 Banshees, the first thing he did was killing the Robo facility. And I mean, in terms of macro, this time Elfi was in the lead by far. He was able to kill so much more stuff. He was able to kill the complete natural expansion, but then his crisis management is not what I personally call the best. I mean, Banshee's still doing some damage. Of course, there must be the Observer floating around somewhere by Elfi. He's got still only 1 Observer out there, he is. And now he still needs to watch out, because even though those Stalkers might be able to attack the Banshees, 4 Stalkers against 6 Banshees is by far not enough. Only with the help of the cannons, Elfi is still able to maintain this base. He's not having a single cannon in the back of the mineral line, so those Banshees were able to constantly do some damage to there. Now a Water Prism drop here by Elfi. Zealots preventing any scouting, any mining there at all. Maybe a single Stalker would help there in the mix as well. There we are, have 4 Stalkers and more SCVs and more Zealots and Archons coming in, so all of those forces are down. Another drop is meanwhile occurring by Jimpo, and all the tech buildings